now I want to share with you some more examples from the life of the Prophet ﷺ to really cement everything that we've spoken about. The first example we're going to mention is when the Prophet ﷺ was speaking to one of the companions known as Mu'adh ibn Jabal. And Mu'adh ibn Jabal was with the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet ﷺ actually took him by his hand. Imagine you're speaking to someone you love and then they take you by your hand and they hold your hand firm. How are you going to feel? You're going to feel secure. You're going to feel really happy that that's happening, especially if it's someone like the Prophet ﷺ. So he took him by his hand and he said, I swear by Allah, ya Mu'adh, I love you. Straight away, look at that beautiful compliment. Now, of course, the relationship is already established. Step one is already completed. But the Prophet ﷺ took his hand, which is a form of compliment, you could say, and he said, I swear by Allah, I love you, ya Mu'adh. And so Mu'adh is all ears. He's listening now. And after he said that, he said, I advise you to never forget to make the following dua after every single prayer. Allahumma a'inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. Oh Allah, help me remember you, to express gratitude to you and to worship you in the best manner. This is the advice that he gave Mu'adh ibn Jabal. Now I want to ask you a question. Mu'adh ibn Jabal, do you think that he said this after every single prayer, or do you think he's going to forget this situation? The fact that the Prophet grabbed his hand and he said, I love you. The Prophet himself say, I love you. And then he says, just say this after every salah. Do you think he's going to say it or not? Of course he's going to say it. Now imagine if he was just passing by and the Prophet he said, Ya Mu'adh, say this after every prayer. It's not going to hit the same. It's not going to be that deep. It's not going to be an experience that he's going to remember deeply. But here you have the example, the prophetic method followed to the T, and it definitely impacted him. That's the first example. The second example is where the Prophet ﷺ was speaking to a companion known as Abdullah ibn Umar. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said to him, what an excellent man Abdullah is. And then he said, if only he can offer some prayers in the night. Look at that. Look at how he delivered that advice. He didn't say, why are you not praying? As a lot of us might say to people, why are you not praying in the night? He said, if only he can offer some more prayers in the night, like this. You see what I mean? Made it positive, made it very soft, made it very gentle. And of course, Abdullah, as you can imagine, he definitely started offering prayers in the night after that advice. And the final example we're going to mention is a beautiful one, and it's going to teach you so much about empathy, about being wise when you give advice. The Prophet ﷺ used the strength of Umar radiallahu anh to advise him about a weakness or a mistake that he made. Listen to this. One time Umar al-Khattab was doing tawaf around the Kaaba and he saw the black stone, and so he wanted to get to the black stone. Now of course, if you guys have read about Umar radiallahu anh, you'll know that he's a big strong man. And so as he was making his way to the black stone, he was, without even noticing, just pushing people left and right out of the way just to get to the black stone. And the Prophet ﷺ saw that. Now put yourself in the Prophet ﷺ's shoes. Is it not the case that you just want to shout at Umar? Like you're seeing people being pushed left and right and he's not even caring. And once he comes back, why did you do that? You just push that person to the left, you push that person to the right. Are you crazy? Isn't that what most of us would say? Imagine if that was a video on TikTok and you open the comment section. What are you going to see? You crazy man. What are you doing? You're a kafir. Astaghfirullah wa a'yadu billah. You see what I mean? This is the reality. But what did the Prophet ﷺ do? He took him to the side and he said, oh Umar, you are a strong man. And Umar, of course, being a strong man, he feels so happy. He feels this fluffy feeling. The Prophet ﷺ just called me strong. And then the Prophet ﷺ, he says, just be easy around the black stone. People, they're not as strong as you. They're weaker than you. And so if you try and get there, you're going to push them left and right and hurt them. I don't want you to hurt people. Advice delivered in the most beautiful way. Subhanallah. You see? And so this is a prime example from the life of the Prophet ﷺ, and it's one that you guys should definitely internalize. And so to summarize, the prophetic method is consisted of 4 steps. Number 1, you establish a relationship with the person, but if you can only meet them once or twice, then at least build rapport through video calls, through inviting them for a coffee, whatever it may be. The second step is to praise them and compliment them. So give them a nice word, say something nice about them. The third step is to deliver the advice kindly and gently. It doesn't have to be advice, it can be knowledge, it can be anything you want to say and teach the people or advise the people, you do it kindly and gently. And finally, number 4, you give them some reassurance and you make some dua for them indeed.